Hello, Vasunthra Sundram, how are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much for asking. It's a great pleasure that I'm going to interview from Pan Asia Europe Tamil channel. Are you willing to?
Yes, why not?
Fantastic. So let's start with this interview from your own personal life about the transgender, and then where did this transgender and then the all these things starts?
Well, where does this transgender all things start? The history of Thirunangai, if you're asking about.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it really starts, basically, it goes way back. It starts from India.
Okay.
Like, Tamil Thirunangai. It starts way back in India. There were Thirunangai present in the Mughal Empire, in the Raja Cholan Empire.
Oh.
There were eunuchs, Thirunangais present in China, Japan. So it's a very old tradition. Thirunangai is existing, if you were to ask me.
You mean the transgender is still
Transgender, yes. It exists in our Holy Quran. It exists in Bible. It exists in Ramayana, Mahabharata, all the old texts. So it's nothing new. But only today there is spotlight has been given unto Thirunangai community.
Okay. What do you think about the transgenders in this like 2019 and then in this 2000?
Well, 2019, they've come a very, very long way to reach 2019.
Okay.
All right. Once upon a time, we Thirunangais were glorified.
You mean
If you were to take
glorified?
India, we were very glorified.
Okay.
When you were to take it in India during the Mughal Empire, the Raja Cholan Empire, Ramayana, Mahabharata, we were totally glorified.
In what ways do you think that the transgenders have been glorified on those days?
In those days, transgenders been glorified in the fact like in the Mughal Empire, the Muslim regime who came from the Persia, and even it goes way back to Arab as well. They were totally glorified in the sense like they played a very important role in those palaces.
You mean the transgenders?
Yes, indeed. The Thirunangais.
They played a very vital
very,
role.
very vital role. History has said it. This is not hearsay or it's a tradition, old folk story.
Is it?
It's a proven fact. In the Mughal Empire, the Shahs and everything, the Sultans, they had Thirunangais who were assigned in the Andapuram, which is the Queen's chamber, where no men were allowed except for the king and the Thirunangais. Their job is
That's
to entertain
interesting.
the Queen. Sorry?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Their job was to entertain the Queen. They handle the kitchen department, the entertainment department, getting the Queen prepared and ready to be the Queen's consort. And they were even appointed in the parliament.
In
as
those days?
Advisor.
Okay.
Let it be the Mughal Empire, the Ming dynasty in China, and Raja Cholan Empire. So they all played a very, very important part as long as royalties were there in India.
That's
And
amazing.
China and Japan. It's all written.
So when you say that they have been in the chambers and they have been an advisors and they played a very vital role in those like political on those days. I mean talking about the history times. So how do you say that that they played actually a vital role in the advisors and these kind of roles?
Well, it's all a
They have
proven-
been asked as a
Yes, because you must understand, in the Queen's royal chamber, private chamber, no men were allowed. Only transgenders were allowed in the private chamber. Therefore, they could assist the queens. And furthermore, they were very well talented, let it be music, art, dance, cooking, decorating, and they were very good in mathematics and how to conduct a good monarchy structure. So they played a very, very important part there. They were well known for it. They were well talented and very, very wise people.
So you are telling that all those king and queen, they give importance to Thirunangai. I mean the transgenders
Yes,
on those days.
major importance were given to Thirunangai. Just like how Devadasis. Devadasis were also, they were women, slaves of God, who was treated next to God. Just like how Thirunangais were also treated like the representative of God.
Okay. So when you say that they have been given that high positions in those days, so why not now?
See, what happened, we share the same faith as Devadasis in south of India.
Could
and
you
north
please
of
tell me
India.
what is Devadasi?
Devadasis are women, slave of gods. They are
of gods.
assigned to temples.
Okay.
Okay. Just like how Devadasis were assigned to temples, the Thirunangais, the eunuchs, were assigned to palaces, kingdoms.
You mean eunuch? Okay.
Yeah, eunuchs. Even when a Maharani is being married, part of a dowry is like a few amount of eunuchs were sent together with the Maharani. Thirunangais were sent together as their punishment.
Oh,
It's part of
that's
the dowry.
incredible.
And then what happened when the Thirunangai community fall from grace is basically the kingdoms were abolished, the British Empire took over, the kingdoms were abolished in China, Japan, India, and various places, right? So they fall from glory. They
Okay.
were pushed away. They were not accepted in society anymore because
Who
there
were
was-
not accepting the
the
society?
Thirunangais were not accepted in societies anymore because once upon a time they were very strong influence in the palace. Therefore, the sub-ministers, the committees in the palace were very envious over the Thirunangai community because they were given better preferences by the Maharanis and the respectable Maharajas. So, this is the time to get back to the Thirunangai, so they were like pushed to the corner. But like even today in Ahmedabad, the Mughal dynasty has given them a kote, a palace, where it's dedicated to Thirunangai. In Ahmedabad, there is a ritual temple called the Baucharya Ma temple. One of the, they consider us as the reincarnation of Durga Lakshmi. Prosperity, wealth, happiness, bravery, harmony. They have a temple dedicated for them and they have a palace was given to them completely.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Vasunthra Sundram. There is a say, basically, on those days, it is not Thirunangai has been, they have made themselves. They have been made by the Maharajas, like the men, basically the eunuchs, is the right-
Eunuchs.
eunuchs, yeah, that's the right word. Okay, they have been made by the Maharaja and the empire because someone who wants to be as a female character for Queen's Palace and also be strong as well. So, in order to be having this kind of what do you call the soldiers or kind of these things, but the Maharaja, they made the man to cut their private parts and then make them like eunuchs and
Castrate
then
them.
castrate
Well,
them.
you see, it's not mentioned in history.
There is a say, but
It's a myth, basically. So I'm talking about from a Thirunangai's point of view, right? They are proper Thirunangais is basically a woman trapped in a man's body. You can never force heterosexual men to be castrated and introduce him as a eunuch. It's never happened. So it's basically these are all special creations of God. When they're born, they realize they are a woman trapped in a man's body, been disregarded by their respective family, and they go and join their own clan, the Thirunangai community.
okay.
That's where they have their surgery, their castration, and they're brought in front of the royal court. This has happened those days. Even till today, the custom still continues.
Okay, when you say that they have been given highly places in the Mughal periods, yeah, but why not now? Like, why that is being changed now?
Well, as you see, like we share the same faith as Devadasis, so there's no more royalties in India. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true.
So when there was no more royalties in India, the Devadasis were pushed into Palel Tolil, the sex trade. That's their way of survival. And they became the British Empire came and rewrite the entire history. Right? So the same fate has happened to Thirunangais. So they need to survive. Survival. But today, in God's grace, everything has changed.
Okay.
Everything has changed for Thirunangai community.
So you're 100% sure about that? Everything has changed?
Am I not a living example?
Well,
Isn't
that's true. That's
Padma Sri, isn't Padma Sri, Kalaimamani, Dr. Nartaki Radarajan an example? Isn't Apsara Reddy, who happens to be the Congress Party secretary for the women's wing, and Thirunangais who are doctors and lawyers and flight captains and many more to mention. Isn't that a proven testimony today?
Well, that's true. That's true. And I just wanted to ask you one thing about the blessings the Thirunangai they do for the people. Well, compared to North India, when compared to South India, it's completely the entire system has changed. Well, the Thirunangai has been worshipped as God in North India, while in South India it's not. So, what do you, in your perspective, what do you think about that?
Well, the North had a very stronger belief, because you see, North we have the Baucharya temple in Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and in South we have the Bhutandavar temple, where Chitrai Masam, in the month of April, they all group up, the South Indian Thirunangai community group up, and they have this function, this Bhutandavar Thiruvala. It's like basically a 1 week function, which is like everyone and anyone is there. Same thing in Baucharya Mata temple, they have their festivals. So it's more prominent in the north that it's believed that, it's not believed, it's a proven fact that Thirunangais are also a reincarnation of Baucharya Ma. Baucharya Ma, who sits on a male chicken, a cock, a sable, and the sable represents fertility. Hence, women who find it difficult to conceive or is about to conceive, and they seek the blessings of a Thirunangai.
Why do they seek the blessing of Thirunangai?
Well, you see, because you must understand, like people like me, I was born a hermaphrodite, born with two genders, and due to surgery we corrected out and everything. So it's all mentioned in the Puranas and the Vedas and everything, that it's important to seek a blessing of a Thirunangai. Because a Thirunangai who has come in peace within herself, the Supreme Creator, the outer being, the inner being in her, she connects with the Jivatma and the Paramatma, and this is the way she is. Therefore, the Devas and Devis and the Mumurtis and Trimurtis believe that we have given them this birth. Hence, they feel guilty for the reason that whatever blessings they give will come true. Likewise, whatever curses they give will come true. It's all written in our Hindu scripture.
Okay, so the one you were talking about is about what is happening in the North India, isn't it? That they've been worshipped as God, the transgenders. What about in South India? Why not in South India?
Well, today things have changed. In South India, they've given the due respects, right? But it's been a very, very strong culture in North India. The Marwadis, the Punjabis, the Gujaratis, the Sindhi, the Hindu province, was given high recognition. But in the south, right, things will change. Rome wasn't built in a day. But like me being a Thirunangai in UK, and people who, I mean, I don't really wear a t-shirt to say that I'm a Thirunangai in UK, but if people who knows me invite me to their house for the child's naming ceremony.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you about that
and
as well.
people who find it hard to conceive, they contact me via messenger, coffee with pass, or they've known someone. Could you please bless us? And in the beginning, I didn't really believed in all that, being an open-minded person myself. And of late, I've just noticed I've had 10 women who seeked my blessings, who found it hard to conceive, has conceived children. And
Oh,
they've
that's
called
great.
me to do the blessing, and especially when the ceremony, they shave the head ball, Kadukuttu, Kalyanam, housewarming, Pilliyar Puja, Lakshmi Puja, Durga Puja, Satyanarayana Puja. Every good occasions, they want a Thirunangai to come and bless. Because it's
Fantastic.
a unique birth, you know. Whenever when you go to a house where a child is born, you either ask, is it a male baby or a female baby? Would you go and ask, is it a male, female, or a hermaphrodite baby? You don't. So people like me, it's like in every 10,000 births, you get one hermaphrodite. Which is very
What did you say?
unique.
Homo fertile.
Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite are people with two genders, born with two genders.
So you consider them as highly like sacred, yeah?
Well,
So you mean they are the sacred
every
people?
human being is in my dictionary. Let it be a man, let it be a woman, let it be a hermaphrodite, let it be a Thirunangai, let it be anyone. They all deserve my due respect and take them for a person, not for their gender, right? But it is mentioned due to the fact that it's mentioned Mahabharata, Ramayana, Holy Quran, Bible and everything. Like these people are created for a purpose to bless, to show affection, to spread the word of love and peace. That is their duty in this world, in this Kali Yuga.
That's fantastic. Okay, we all see the video that you've been invited for the. I think it's a naming ceremony for the child baby, isn't it? That you've been recently visited the child names or I don't
Naming
know.
ceremony.
Naming
Yeah,
ceremony.
I mean.
Could you please tell us?
Yeah, I mean, there's this person who find it difficult to conceive. This is the 10th person in my understanding. She found it very, very difficult to conceive, and I just blessed her full-heartedly with all my positive energy. I just blessed this person, and it so happened the person conceived a baby boy, and she was very pleased. I was very pleased for her. See, when a person seeks blessings from me, I don't bless them as I am a Thirunangai, a hermaphrodite, I'm blessing you. No, I bless them with all the full contentment in my heart, with all the positive energy, because I believe in the power of the positive thinking. I've read a book, and I've read the book when I was 18, and I've always put that into practice. The mind of the power of the positive thinking, the power of the positive mind, and it worked for me. So when I bless a person full-heartedly, Naranja Manasoda, they say, and it's always worked.
That's amazing.
Could it be I'm a hermaphrodite, Thirunangai, or could it be I'm a person with so much of positive energy? I don't know.
That's amazing, Vasunthra Sundram. Could you please tell about the recent success of the Thirunangais? They are shining in many different industries, like as you mentioned, like Nartaki Nadarajan and Apsara Reddy. Could you please tell us about them?
See, Nartaki Natarajan was given credits for her dance, right? And let me correct all of y'all here. She wasn't given all these titles because she's a Thirunangai. No. She was given the title because she deserved it. Let it be a man, let it be a woman, let it be a Thirunangai. When it comes to art, right? So you're trying to tell me any Thirunangai takes up Bharatanatyam, does Arangetram, gets a Padma Shri? No. Nartaki Natarajan Amma's awards was given because of her merits, her dedication, her discipline, her sincerity in the art. If you see into all her interviews, she mentions that, and I see it as a person, because I'm a dancer, classical dancer,
Yes.
well trained. I'm a dance teacher in London.
Okay.
So Paminkal Pambariyam, they say in Tamil. It takes one to know another. She was purely given because of her merit. Likewise, Nartaki Amma, I call her Amma. I know her. And another one more person called Apsara Reddy. I know her. She calls me Akka. I call her my Tangachi. In fact, this morning we had a nice chat on the phone.
Okay.
She was given the position not because she is a Thirunangai alone, because of what she has done as a person towards society. Like I myself have done a lot for society, but there's always a saying what the right hand does, the left hand shouldn't know. I'm doing my part. Like for instance, whatever money in the ritual I get, I totally put in on a separate account where my lawyer has got a fund. We set up a trust fund, Vasunthra Trust Fund. And every month when rental of my properties and all that stuff I collected. I mean, I've got a property in Malaysia, I've got a property in UK, my salary and everything. Certain percentage I put it to this Vasunthra Sundram fund
Okay.
that helps another children, give them education, feed them. I don't want any children to go hungry. So this is strictly done by my lawyers and everything. They have a committee and they will.
Are you still doing it?
I still do this. I still associate. So whatever money I get from blessing and everything, I contribute it back to the society. And as for Thirunangai, I've helped several Thirunangais out there, India, Malaysia. I help them for those who want to educate themselves, further education. And one has taken graphic designing
In Malaysia.
in Malaysia, in India.
That's great.
India, few of them have pursued the art of Bharatanatyam and law, medical, and even back home in Malaysia as well. So I'm giving them, instead of just giving them money, I'm sponsoring their education so that their education will make them a better human being.
Okay, I have a question. It's gonna be a funny one, or I don't know. Like it's up to you.
No question is there's no such thing as a stupid question,
Okay.
but there's always a stupid answer.
Alright, let's see that. As a transgender, as a Thirunangai, which country do you prefer, Malaysia or India?
As a Thirunangai, which country I prefer? Well, for me, life was really, really tough in Malaysia. As I don't know about life in India. I've been to India, like I've started traveling to India frequently from the age of 7,
Okay.
and then continues from the age